The famed medieval Spanish Kabbalist and Biblical commentator R. Moshe ben Nachman, known as Nachmanides or Ramban, from 1194 to 1270, had a disciple named Avner. Following a crisis of faith, Avner rejected his Jewish faith, left the community behind, and became a government official. One Yom Kippur, Avner sent the guards to summon his former teacher to appear before him. Spitefully, he then proceeded to slaughter, roast, and eat a pig in front of Rambam on the holiest fast day of the year. The Rambam asked him, "What brought you to this point? What caused you to reject the holy ways of your ancestors?" "You did, Rabbi," Avner retorted venomously. "Your teachings were exaggerated and had no basis in reality. You once taught us that in the brief Torah portion of Ha'azinu, a mere 52 verses, the Torah encodes the entire history of the Jewish people until the coming of Moshe. This is just ridiculous," scoffed Avner. "How could 3,000 years of history and literally millions of names be condensed into just 614 words?" "But it's true," replied Rambam, holding his ground. "Then show me my name and my fate," Avner challenged incredulously. The Rambam fell into a state of meditation and prayed silently to God to reveal this secret. "Your name, Avner, can be found in the third letter of each word in the verse. The verse reads, 'I, God, said in my heart that I would scatter them, causing their memory to cease from mankind,' referring to those who had rejected Torah and a Jewish way of life." Avner's face turned pale as heavy tears began to fall. "Is there any hope for me?" he sobbed. "What can I possibly do to rectify my unthinkable sins?" "The verse itself has provided the rectification," said Rambam. "It says that God will scatter them until their memory is erased. You too must scatter those distracting alien thoughts and impulses that have held you captive for too long, until they are forgotten. Relocate to a new environment free from your former associations and addictions, and in this way you can return to your essence anew and be remembered for good among your people." At a Ferguson in 1982, the Rebbe shared that as a child he was taught this story by his teacher. The traditional point stressed by his teacher was the uniqueness of Parsha Ha'azinu and the infinite nature of the Torah. How indeed could the Torah contain such esoteric codes and secrets? However, the Rebbe added, there is another layer of depth to the story that has been overlooked. If you notice, the words quoted by Rambam begin not with an aleph for Avner, but with a resh, an R. The letter resh is often used as a formal prefix for Reb, an honorific term. Therefore, his name as quoted in this verse is Reb Avner, revealing how he is actually seen in God's eyes through the lens of the Torah, as a spiritual being deserving of respect and reverence. This self-revelation, like a lightning flash, instantly brought R. Avner back into alignment with his higher nature. In fact, the moment he was exposed to the error of his ways, a spirit of teshuvah was immediately awakened within him. After having left his faith, even going so far as to mock and taunt his devout leaders on its holiest day, the vision of his soul that was reflected back from within the Torah instantly aroused a yearning within him to return to his roots. Jewish thought is essentially positive in its assessment of the soul. There is no need to be born again or to turn over a new leaf in the process of the spiritual journey. Even if a person sins and seeks absolution, there is never any need to become something completely different. In fact, the Hebrew word teshuvah, or teshuvah, which is commonly translated as repentant, actually means to return. This existential orientation further reinforces Judaism's core principle. The soul is eternally, essentially, and unadulteratively pure. No matter what, this is our root. We may sometimes branch out in various ways, but we are always attached to that root. To rectify our actions and reconnect to our soul, we merely need to reclaim and return to who we truly are and always will be, a spiritual being eternally connected to our divine source and essence.